The supercar world has always been built around mystery, exclusivity, and control. Brands like Bugatti are not just car companies. They are symbols of wealth, power, and engineering perfection. When people think about Bugatti, they imagine millionaires, private collections, and cars so advanced that only factory-trained experts are allowed to touch them. For years, Bugatti carefully protected that image. The company made people believe that its cars were almost impossible to repair outside official workshops. Owners were expected to follow strict rules, use approved technicians, and trust the company with every major repair. That system helped Bugatti maintain its reputation as the most elite car maker in the world. But recently, the internet started paying attention to a completely different kind of story. Instead of a polished showroom or a billionaire collector, people saw a YouTuber working inside a garage with tools, cameras, and determination. That YouTuber was Mat Armstrong, a British car builder known for buying crashed supercars and bringing them back to life. His videos already had millions of viewers because people loved watching impossible repairs turn into success stories. But when he became connected to a badly damaged Bugatti Chiron per sport, the situation became much bigger than a normal rebuild project. Suddenly, people were no longer just watching a repair video. They were watching a challenge against one of the most powerful names in the automotive industry. Viewers started asking difficult questions about who really controls a car after it's sold. Can a manufacturer decide what owners are allowed to repair? Can a car company stop independent mechanics from working on expensive vehicles? And if a YouTuber can repair a car that experts considered impossible to fix, what does that say about the system itself? These questions turned a simple rebuild project into a worldwide discussion. Mat Armstrong did not become famous because of luxury or expensive production. He became popular because he looked different from traditional automotive media. Most car channels focus on reviews, track driving, or showing off expensive collections. Armstrong built his audience by taking wrecked vehicles that many people consider destroyed and repairing them step by step. He showed the ugly parts of the process, including broken parts, failed attempts, missing tools, and stressful setbacks. That honesty helped viewers connect with him because the videos felt real instead of carefully polished. Over time, his channel became known for impossible-looking projects involving Ferraris, Lamborghinis, McLarens, and other exotic cars. Many fans enjoyed the idea that someone outside the luxury automotive world could successfully rebuild vehicles worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Armstrong represented determination and practical skill instead of corporate image. That reputation became extremely important once the Bugatti project appeared. The damaged Bugatti Chiron per sport originally belonged to YouTuber Alex Gonzalez, also known online as FXA Alex G. The car was involved in a serious crash that caused major structural damage. Airbags deployed, the front section was heavily damaged, and important systems inside the car were affected. According to reports connected to the story, Bugatti even sent specialists to inspect the vehicle. After examining the damage, the conclusion reportedly was that repairing the car would be incredibly difficult and extremely expensive. Insurance estimates reportedly reached massive numbers that shocked viewers online. For many people, the story should have ended there. Normally, a damaged hypercar at that level would either be written off completely or sent to a factory-approved repair center with enormous costs attached. But instead of giving up, Armstrong decided to take on the challenge himself. That decision changed everything because it created a direct comparison between independent repair culture and the highly controlled world of luxury automotive manufacturers. Viewers immediately became interested because the project looked impossible from the beginning. One reason the story spread so quickly online was because it touched on a growing debate happening across many industries. Around the world, people have started discussing something called the right to repair. This idea is simple. Many consumers believe that once they buy a product, they should have the freedom to repair it however they choose. Companies, however, often argue that complex technology requires official service centers and trained technicians for safety and quality reasons. This argument has already appeared in industries involving phones, computers, farming equipment, and electronics. But seeing the same issue connected to a multi-million-dollar Bugatti made the discussion much more dramatic. In the video surrounding the Chiron repair, viewers saw Armstrong struggle with complicated systems, unavailable parts, software problems, and technical restrictions. These moments made many people realize how tightly controlled modern vehicles have become. A Bugatti is not just an engine with wheels attached. It is filled with advanced electronics, sensors, programming systems, and custom-built components that are difficult to access without factory support. For critics, that level of control can feel excessive because it limits what owners and independent mechanics can actually do. Supporters of Bugatti system argue that these cars are engineering masterpieces and must be repaired carefully to protect safety and performance. Both sides have valid arguments, which is why the story became so interesting. Armstrong's videos gave ordinary viewers a rare look into a world that is usually hidden behind luxury branding and corporate secrecy. Instead of seeing glossy advertisements, audiences watched real mechanical problems being solved in real time. That transparency created excitement because people felt they were seeing something manufacturers normally prefer to keep private. Every successful repair step became proof that independent mechanics could sometimes achieve things that large corporations claimed were nearly impossible. Whether Bugatti liked it or not, the project started changing public perception about ownership, repair rights, and manufacturer control. Another reason the story gained attention was the emotional structure behind it. That frustration has become increasingly common in modern technology culture, which explains why the Bugatti story resonated with so many people beyond automotive communities. One of the most interesting aspects of the story is how it changed the way people view expertise. Traditionally, luxury manufacturers positioned themselves as the only true authorities capable of handling advanced vehicles. Customers trusted factory technicians because they were trained directly by the company and had access to specialized equipment. In many cases, that expertise is absolutely real and necessary. However, the internet has changed how knowledge spreads. Today, skilled independent mechanics can access tutorials, technical communities, digital tools, and worldwide support networks that did not exist decades ago. Armstrong's videos demonstrated how determined creators can learn, adapt, and solve problems without belonging to a major corporation. This does not mean every independent mechanic can suddenly repair Bugatti safely, but it does challenge the idea that knowledge must remain locked inside corporate walls forever. Many viewers found this empowering because it reflected broader cultural changes happening in other industries as well. The rise of online learning has allowed individuals to master skills that once required access to elite institutions. Whether in programming, filmmaking, engineering, or automotive repair, people increasingly believe that practical knowledge should be accessible to anyone willing to study and work hard. Armstrong's project symbolized that shift. Instead of relying entirely on official systems, he documented his own process publicly, allowing millions to learn alongside him. That openness contrasted strongly with the secretive image often associated with ultra-luxury manufacturers. The emotional power of the project came partly from this clash between open internet culture and traditional corporate exclusivity. Audiences felt they were witnessing old systems being challenged by new forms of independent expertise. Even people who knew little about cars could understand the larger meaning behind the story. Despite all the excitement, it is also important to separate internet drama from reality. Online headlines often exaggerate situations because extreme language attracts attention and increases clicks. Titles claiming that the industry is in chaos or that executives are panicking may create excitement, but they do not always reflect the full truth. Large automotive companies operate on global scales involving thousands of employees, long-term engineering programs, and massive financial systems. A single YouTube project, even a very popular one, is unlikely to completely disrupt an entire industry overnight. However, that does not mean the story lacks importance. The real impact of Armstrong's Bugatti rebuild may be cultural rather than financial. The project showed millions of people that luxury manufacturers are not untouchable and that independent creators can influence public conversations in powerful ways. It also demonstrated how YouTube personalities now hold influence that once belonged mainly to journalists and television networks. A creator with a camera and loyal audience can shape public opinion globally within days. That shift has changed how companies manage their reputations. Businesses now monitor social media creators closely because online narratives can spread faster than official press releases. Armstrong's project highlighted this new reality perfectly. Every update video became part entertainment, part technical discussion, and part public relations challenge for Bugatti. Even if the company chose not to respond directly, audiences still built their own opinions based on what they watched online. In today's digital environment, silence itself can become part of the story. That pressure explains why modern corporations pay so much attention to internet creators and viral discussions. Public image is no longer controlled only through traditional media. Independent voices now play a major role in shaping how brands are perceived. The Bugatti rebuild story also revealed something important about modern audiences. People today are increasingly interested in authenticity instead of perfection. Traditional luxury advertising usually presents flawless images of success, wealth, and control. Social media, however, often reward transparency, struggle, and visible effort. Armstrong's videos succeeded partly because viewers watched real challenges unfold naturally instead of seeing scripted corporate messaging. Mistakes, delays, and unexpected problems actually made the content more engaging because they felt genuine. Audiences enjoyed seeing someone work through difficulties rather than pretending everything was easy. This shift toward authenticity has changed entertainment across many industries. Consumers now prefer creators who appear relatable and honest, even when their production quality is lower than large corporations. In the Bugatti story, viewers connected emotionally with the process itself. They celebrated small victories, worried during setbacks, and became invested in the final outcome. That emotional involvement created stronger engagement than a normal advertisement ever could. At the same time, the project demonstrated how powerful storytelling can transform technical subjects into mainstream entertainment. Most people do not understand advanced automotive engineering, yet millions still followed the rebuild because the human story behind it was easy to understand. It involved risk, persistence, conflict, and ambition. Those themes connect with audiences everywhere regardless of whether they care about hypercars specifically. The project essentially turned a complex repair job into a dramatic narrative about independence and determination. That storytelling ability explains why the videos spread far beyond normal automotive communities. They appealed not only to car enthusiasts but also to viewers interested in business, technology, internet culture, and personal achievement. In the end, the story of Mat Armstrong and the damaged Bugatti Chiron became much larger than a single car repair. It represented the collision between old luxury systems and modern creator culture. On one side stood traditional corporate control, built around exclusivity, secrecy, and official authority. On the other side stood the open internet, where independent creators document everything publicly and audiences expect transparency. The project sparked debates about ownership, repair rights, expertise, and the changing relationship between companies and consumers. It also showed how powerful YouTube storytelling has become in shaping public conversations worldwide. Whether people viewed Armstrong as a hero, a skilled mechanic, a content creator, or simply an entertainer, his project clearly captured global attention in ways that few automotive stories ever do. At the same time, viewers should remember that internet narratives often simplify complicated realities. Bugatti remains one of the most advanced and respected automotive manufacturers in the world, and repairing hypercars safely still requires extraordinary skill and knowledge. Yet Armstrong's rebuild proved that independent creators can challenge assumptions that once seemed unquestionable. The project inspired millions because it combined technical ambition with a universal human theme, proving that determination can overcome barriers that others consider impossible. In many ways, that emotional message mattered more than the car itself. The Bugatti became a symbol of a larger cultural shift happening across modern society, where ordinary individuals armed with tools, cameras, and online audiences can influence industries once controlled entirely by powerful institutions. That is why the story resonated so strongly across the internet. It was never only about horsepower or repair bills. It was about control, freedom, and the growing power of independent creators in the digital age. As more details about the rebuild appeared online, viewers became even more fascinated by the technical side of the project. Many people had never seen the inside of a Bugatti before, especially not one that had suffered major crash damage. Every new video revealed another complicated challenge involving electronics, carbon fiber, software systems, cooling lines, or rare replacement parts. The Chiron is not designed like a normal sports car. It is built using highly specialized engineering that combines luxury with extreme performance. Even basic maintenance on these vehicles can cost enormous amounts of money, and many repairs require factory-approved procedures. That is why so many viewers were shocked to see the project progressing inside an independent garage instead of a luxury service center. Armstrong and his team often had to solve problems creatively because they did not always have direct factory support. This part of the story became very important because it showed the difference between official systems and independent problem-solving. Viewers enjoyed watching real engineering challenges instead of simple cosmetic repairs. The process also highlighted how difficult modern cars had become to work on compared to older vehicles. Years ago, mechanics could repair most problems using standard tools and mechanical knowledge. Today, many high-end vehicles rely heavily on computers, sensors, encrypted software, and custom-built systems that require advanced diagnostics. For some viewers, the Bugatti project represented a warning about the future of car ownership. They worried that manufacturers were slowly creating products that ordinary people could never repair themselves. Others believed the complexity was simply necessary because modern performance standards are so advanced. Regardless of which side people supported, the rebuild forced audiences to think more seriously about how technology is changing the relationship between owners and machines. The media attention surrounding the Bugatti rebuild also showed how entertainment and journalism are becoming connected online. Traditional automotive journalism usually depends on interviews, official statements, press events, and controlled access provided by manufacturers. Independent creators operate very differently. They often build audiences by challenging official narratives and showing behind-the-scenes realities that companies may prefer to keep private. Armstrong's project attracted attention partly because viewers felt they were seeing something unfiltered and genuine. Instead of polished advertisements, they watched uncertain